You've seen it. That one competitor who was quite a year ago is now all over your feed. Every time you open Instagram or LinkedIn, there they are again. Another post, another video, another client testimonial. Meanwhile, you're over here and posting when you remember to. And it feels like you're just shouting into the void, like nobody's necessarily giving you any feedback. Here's what I'm going to show you in this video: the exact difference between businesses that show up everywhere and businesses that stay invisible. And it's not really what you think. It's not because these people have more time than you. It's not even that they hired some expensive agency. And it's definitely not them sitting around and spending 80 hours on just creating content. At that point, might as well just stop doing what you're doing and become a full-time content creator. There's a system they're using that you're not. And I'm going to break down exactly what it is using this diagram over here. And by the end of today's video, you'll know exactly why you're losing ground pretty much every single day, not having this exact system in place. I hear this from business owners all the time. I don't have time for content, and I get it. You're busy running a business, not necessarily a media company. You're focused on operations, closing deals, and also, most importantly, delivering for the clients. And content feels like one more thing you don't necessarily have the bandwidth for, because let's face it, like it just takes a lot of time to manage all of this, from scripting to the recording to the editing and also the publishing. But here's what's happening. While you're focused on those things, your competitors are literally building an audience. They're building trust at scale. And every day you're not doing the same, the gap literally gets wider. This isn't about going viral or even becoming an influencer. This is about showing up consistently where your clients are already looking. Because repetition in all of this is pretty much key. Like, you cannot stop. Now let me show you exactly what I mean with this diagram. And on the left, you'll see what happens without a system, and on the right, you'll see what happens with one. Same 24 hours, completely different results. So this is here what most business owners are doing and why they stay invisible. The business owners over here on the left-hand side, let's start with the first one. They're just busy running the actual business and focused way too much on the operations, which you should. Like, I want to keep that in clear. You started your business to do the thing that you're extremely good at. So of course, that is theoretically where most of your time needs to go anyways. But of course, the problem we're trying to solve is, how do we get you more time to do this extra stuff to actually help grow your business? Because right now you're in the weeds. You have the client calls, you have the fulfillment, you have the operations. There's just too much to be done. So logically, the next step is you don't necessarily have time for content. And even when you do decide to create some content, it's going to be extremely sporadic. There's no posting, and then you're pretty much invisible online. So we see business owners pretty much do this all the time. Like, yeah, I'm going to create content. And then they go on this legendary 2-week run and like do a whopping 4 posts a week. And then that's pretty much it. They disappear for 2 months. And then the same exact procedure happens. They'll make another 4 posts, and that's pretty much it. Same thing with gym. Like, people have these motivations where they're like, today I'm going to get fit. Now they're going to the gym for like, consistently for 2 weeks, and then they stop. Same thing with content. Like, you need to create a system around it that keeps you accountable. So on the gym side of things, that's exactly why you hire coaches, you hire personal trainers, you start tracking your calories. You do all of these things to make sure that A, you're keeping yourself accountable, and then B, you actually have the data and also accountability to make sure that you're always in the right direction. Because let's face it, if you're busy, even doing something as simple as keeping fit and, just building some sort of muscle, like it requires some sort of guidance. So of course, by doing this, you being on this stage over here, you're losing momentum. And then of course, your competitors who are on the green side over here, the gap is just getting wider and wider, logically. And what this means is you're pretty much gifting opportunities to your competitors. Just think about it, which of course makes sense because you're busy running your business, like we said in the first part. And then of course, just logically, you don't necessarily have time to create content. And whenever you do try to create content yourself, it's just not good, and you are not that consistent. So basically, you're losing momentum, and then you're handling your opportunities to your competitors. So this is what happens without a system. And the keyword here is system, because creating content by itself is simple to do. Writing a script by itself is simple to do. Editing a video by itself, simple to do. Recording, publishing, all of these things by in and of itself are simple to do. But creating a system around it which keeps you consistent for months on months. Like, how do you post a video every single day for 6 months? Because if you think of it this way, you'll immediately come to the conclusion like, yeah, I cannot necessarily do this on my own. I definitely need help. Because now you're looking into like, okay, so if I'm going to be posting every single day for the next 6 months, that's over 180 videos. Like, what system do I need to put in place so I can make 180 videos? So instead of just, starting tomorrow and making 1 video and then posting that for like 4 weeks and that's pretty much it. You need to have momentum when it comes to content, social media, ads. Anything online requires momentum because we want to make sure that in the process of you doing amazing client work, building amazing operations, you're fantastic at what you do, you're not necessarily losing newer clients to your competitors just because they have like a better social media page. We want to make sure when prospects actually actively look for solutions, they find you and not necessarily only your competitors. And this is the trap most businesses are stuck in. You know you should be creating content, but you don't have time, so you don't. And meanwhile, your competitors are pretty much every single place. But here's what they figured out that you necessarily haven't. Now over here, they literally have the same 24 hours as you, but they just have a different approach. So of course, right over here, they're in the same boat as you. They're busy running operations, but they're just working smarter. Because let's say on the red hand side, there's you, and then on the green hand side, there's your competitors. Both of you guys are working extremely hard. So let's say there's 24 hours in the day. Let's say, you're just working the entire 24 hours. But this guy is just working smarter and he just has better systems, not necessarily more time. Because let's visualize this box over here as you. Like this is you yourself over here. So 24 hours and this is you. There's only so much you can do. But over here on the green hand side, and this will make sense in a minute, I promise. So as soon as you bring it over here, let me just change this to green. So it just makes more sense. This guy, and then let's just visualize these as, 24 hours. And let's make this big. And let's just put another variation of this over here. So let's say both of you guys are maxing out on both of your hours. This guy over here just has more stacks of it. Like he just has systems. So this is what happens when there's like multiple lines running at the same time 24 hours versus just one line trying to do every single thing. And then there's of course going to be some dents and some gaps in between because you can't necessarily do what this person is doing over here with efficient systems. And this is true for pretty much everything, not just content. This is true for every single thing. And this is the exact reason why you hire people in the first place, is because you want to make sure that multiple lines are running in the same frequency and at the same time, which is going to make sure and dictate how efficient your business and your systems are. So with the better system, so let's say this person has a team that's helping him with the scripting and the recording and necessarily, let's say, even with the editing and the publishing too. Then this guy just has to, just show up for maybe like once a week. He comes up, records for 45 minutes a week, and all he has to do is perform the scripts that this team has written for him, and he just performs them. Then the video goes over to the editing team, maybe they edit it, and then maybe they have an account manager that publishes the content for them as well. So instead of them having to, of course, try and doing everything themselves, figuring out what the scripting is, figuring out how to edit this video, figuring out how to, record it, publish it, which takes hours end on end, figuring out what captions to use, hashtags to use. This guy over here is just showing up for 45 minutes a week, and then that's pretty much it. Everything else is pretty much taken care of for him. And this is how he's showing up everywhere and posting daily 24/7. Just because this guy has a better system. He's just spending 45 minutes on content and he's able to post every single day. And this guy over here, he's just trying to do it by himself. He's trying to maybe perhaps like have an in-house team, even though he's not necessarily ready to have an in-house team. So he makes the wrong hires. There's just a lot of mess ups going on over here. So having the right systems is just goes to show like how efficiently and how fast you can move in the first place. And that, of course, all relates to you making more cash, which of course results to building trust at scale. And they have a consistent presence. And then of course, capturing opportunities and maintaining momentum most importantly. And of course, content as well depends on when you're watching this video. It's just one of those things where every day you're not showing up, the gap just keeps getting wider because this is you over here with barely any momentum and this is your competitor. You could be kind of like the best person in the business. Like you could literally be the best person a customer needs to go to. But just for the fact that they don't necessarily know or are aware of your existence, because whenever they type your name or type your business or the category of it within Google and you don't pop up, you by definition are losing the people who just pop up on Google or Instagram or TikTok or LinkedIn. Wherever the service is provided or people do their research, they will go for the person who actually exists and they can look into their stuff. If you do not exist in these platforms, you will just be over here and then you will always have trouble maintaining an efficient system. So if you want to create more content, if you want to make more cash using content, social media, paid ads, you have to make sure that you have efficient systems built within your business that helps you scale efficiently. And I want to ask you this as well. Like, is this something you've noticed in your industry? That one competitor who's suddenly everywhere while you're struggling to post once a week. And that's the whole premise of this video. It's like you don't need more time. You don't need to become a content creator. You don't need to work 80 hours a week. You need a system that works for you 24/7. And that's it. That's the difference. So just to recap this video, here's what we covered. Without a system, you stay invisible, where your competitors literally dominate all of your feeds, whether it's Instagram, TikTok, name any feed. With a system, you show up everywhere without sacrificing time on operations or client work. The gap between you and competitors gets wider every single day. You don't have this specific system in place. But the good news is you can close that gap faster than you can think. Because if you want help building this system for your business, there's a Calendly link in the description, and we work with service-based businesses to set up a content system that literally runs on autopilot. The ideation, the scripting, the editing, the posting, all handled for you. You record maybe like 2 to 3 hours a month max, and we handle the rest. So if that's something you're interested in and you have a fairly big business, book a call and we'll map out exactly what you need to do to go from invisible to pretty much being everywhere. Or of course you can try building it yourself, but again, here's the reality. Your competitors already have the system running. Every day you wait is another day they're capturing opportunities that, let's be honest, should be yours. But I want to see you succeed. If you manage to build all these systems internally in-house and you're posting consistently, congratulations, that is absolutely amazing. And I promise you, you will see the benefits of posting consistently and also running ads consistently as well. And if you found this helpful, make sure to subscribe. I post twice a week on systems like this that actually work for service-based businesses or just any business in general. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.